Today we're going to talk about an application that's going to revolutionize how you generate content, be it a blog, be it a social media post, or specifically if you're working with the AI assistants. In order to understand its power, watch till the end because my fifth tip for you is going to change the game. Let's get into it. What are we talking about? Today we're going to talk about a tool that's relatively new. It's been around for a while and it has garnered a lot of supporters. And it's called AudioPen. What it does, it takes whatever stream of consciousness you can put out there and converts it into concise, clear, and easy to understand and very, very legible text. It also does, and this is my biggest fault, is removes all of the so, now, and so forth. It cleans up your text. But you're saying, okay, fine, I had a note application on my phone forever. How is this different? Well, this is where the genius of AI comes in, because AudioPen doesn't just take your verbal notes and clean them up. Descript does that, has been doing that for a while. What it does, it begins to rewrite it so it takes the content, understands it, and puts this in the language that you define. But enough with the preamble. Let me show you how it works and then you will see its power. We're going to start with a free version and then I'm going to show you why I decided to upgrade to the pro version. And if you've been watching this video, then you know that I do not take subscriptions lightly. Join me on the screen. This is what a free version would look like. Very clean website, and the one thing you need to do is press this button. Biggest difference between pro and free version is the amount of minutes that you can record your voice for. Free version, 3 minutes. Pro version, 15 minutes. 15 minutes is a lot of text. Now, I am going to narrate something that comes into my mind and you will see how it's going to be transformed into legible text. Let's begin with the show. I was walking down the street yesterday and then I don't know what happened. A friend of mine, so I was walking down the street and then a friend of mine approached me and said something like, "Yo, dude, what's going on? Yeah, you want to hang out?" And I was like, "No, man, I'm going about my business." And so basically I told him no and I just proceeded on my way. I'm going to hit stop and going to see how that garbage of a text is going to be transformed by AudioPen into something that a human being could stomach reading. Let's take a look. Street encounter rejection. I was walking down the street yesterday when my friend came up to me. He asked, "Hey, do you want to hang out?" But I said no and kept going on my way. That is exactly what I said. This is the clarity that you're seeking. But wait, if you can do this, imagine what you can do with some of the content that you're thinking about. I am going to switch to the pro version and we're going to talk about the 5 amazing things that you can use AudioPen for in your daily lives, in your business work, and pretty much everywhere else. The pro version looks almost the same, but what you're seeing here is these are folders that allow you to organize your different content. You are also able to add tags, and I'll tell you how those tags become very powerful. You can download the audio version of whatever you said, I believe for an hour after you have recorded. Then just because of the volume, it gets deleted off the server. You always have access to your original transcript. And then let's talk about some of the amazing functionality. Number 1, for any copywriter, blogger, idea generation guru, this is a must. Because anywhere you are, you can pull out your phone, click a button, and they just start going to town. Let those ideas flow. You don't have to worry about repeating yourself, all of those filler words that may pollute your language. Just go. Because then AudioPen is going to take it, clean it all up, and you will have text. Not only that, You also will have text that you can manage the context of. Let me show you. See this wonderful magic wand button? I can choose rewrite level, low. AudioPen will create a lightly cleaned up version. This is when you're more eloquent than I am. When you know how to speak, maybe you are already a public speaker. You don't need it to be changed. You just need it to be cleaned up. Medium. This is where you can add writing styles. You can create a writing style of your own, or you can use the preset writing styles, and they differ wildly. Think of this as a prompt when you're using with, let's say, ChatGPT, and you tell it how you want it to sound. And then you have the high rewrite level where you can dynamically change the output length, the way that the system will actually modify your text, because this is when it really begins to modify your text. It can add to it, subtract from it. It'll keep the same gist, but it may not sound as you have dictated. What's interesting is it differs greatly. So let me give you an example. This note is morning routine benefits, boost blood flow, increase metabolism. These are my unprofessional thoughts of why it's good to exercise in the morning. Let's see if I can change this by going here, creating a writing style that's way different, descriptive, which is create vivid images for the reader, use sensory language, metaphor, similes, and other figures of speech. I'm going to hit rewrite. By the way, another feature here is, see, you can have a copy and rewrite. So you can regenerate while leaving the other copy intact. I don't care for that right now. Let's see what happens when I choose this different language style. It's still a bullet point list, but look at the change. Ignites the crimson rivers within, stirs your inner metabolic furnace, melts away the icy grip of stress, awakens dormant muscles and gut, incinerates unwelcome calories. You get the point. This is not the same text that you saw before. These are not the same bullet points. And if this was not bullet points, if this was sentences, you would see the transformation. Let's go to number 2. You can access audiences in different languages. Yes, you can. For example, every time my son goes to bed at night, I tell him a little story, something that I just make up off the cuff. My native tongue is Russian, and I can narrate in Russian using AudioPen. Guess what? The output language can be anything. It immediately translates it to English. I can set it to Japanese if I wanted to. So imagine the power if you're creating a LinkedIn post and you want to engage with a Spanish-speaking audience. All you have to do is take your transcription and set the output language to Spanish. That is it. All of a sudden, you're multilingual and you haven't hired a single person. This is very powerful, especially if you want to attract audiences that would not otherwise see your social media posts because of the language configuration. Number 3. Remember I told you about tags? Let me show you something. I have in my inspiration folder 2 things that I recorded earlier today. One called Persevere Through Tough Times, and another one is Solopreneurship Steering Your Own Ship. What's cool about this is if I select those 2, because I have the tags help me find those posts because you can have endless number of notes. I can then create this super summary, which takes those 2 posts or more and summarizes them in a cohesive flow. So look at what happens. The first one was, solo what now? Oh, solopreneurship. It's about getting off your butt, owning your actions and steering your own ship. Money and personal life included. Freedom's the name of the game. No bossy pants or depending on others to say you've made it. That was number 1. And note the tone. That's not how I spoke, but that's the tone I chose for this to be rewritten in. The second one was persevere through tough times. Feeling weak? World against you? Yeah, it sucks. But don't let that be your decision maker. Know what you want. Have goals, even when winning seems impossible. Because guess what? People win by sticking it out. They go the extra mile. And in the wild world of online business, you never know what'll trigger a domino effect in your favor. Okay, great, right? Inspirational kind of stuff. You can feel being used in social media posts. Fantastic. Here's how I've chosen a completely different tone, took those two and rewritten them into one. I'll just going to clear this up and open this up for you. In moments when you feel fragile, as if the world conspires against you, remember that you're not alone in this struggle. But do not let those thoughts steer your decisions. Instead, focus on your true desire and the objectives behind your actions. For even when the odds seem insurmountable, victory is within reach. People triumph through perseverance, treading the extra mile and tenaciously holding on. Picture the realm of online digital business. A mysterious force may ignite a domino effect, unleashing a torrent of opportunities in your favor. All you need to do is remain steadfast. I'm not going to finish this, but can you see the power of this? So those are the super summaries. When you combine your thoughts into one, change the tone, and all of a sudden you have a different text. And speaking of which, number 4, I want to expand on that last example and show you how you can become a social media superstar. Why? Because you can narrate something very simple and make it short and use this beautiful button at the bottom that says share and post it to Twitter or send it as an email. But let's stick with Twitter. Fantastic. Remember when you could rewrite? Again, I'm sorry, I have to take a step back. I'm talking about the features, especially the rewriting and the tones of the Pro version. And you can see why I decided to go for the Pro version. So think about this. That little short post of 280 characters for Twitter now can be rewritten in a business professional tone and expanded to medium-sized post for LinkedIn. Take that, add more hyperbole, add more flavor to it, and increase the length, and you already have a making of a good blog post. And you can do this throughout. If you're using text-to-video tools for a headless YouTube channel, bingo. Create a different narration, clear, concise, punchy sentences. And you have your shorts. You see the power of this? Can you feel how this is useful? But I promised you, I saved the best for last. So let's go. Number 5. How do you prompt ChatGPT or Claude AI or Bard or Bing, whatever AI assistant you're using? How are you doing this? Are you going in and saying, act as a copywriter? Most people do. I'm here to tell you that you can power up those assistants to an amazing level if you give them your notes. If you show them what you want them to talk about, if you provide them context, knowledge, expertise, bullet points to work with. And I'm going to demonstrate this for you. So here's an exercise, and this is going to be rough and very simple, but you'll need to use your imagination to see the power of it. Here's a prompt. Act as a copywriter. Write a 2-paragraph inspiring LinkedIn post on the benefits of exercise. And boom, it did exactly what I wanted to. But when you read it carefully. Here's what it says. Exercise isn't just about physical fitness. It's a game changer for your mental and entrepreneurial prowess. As we mature in our careers, it's easy to get stuck in our comfort zones by incorporating regular exercise into our routine, blah, blah, blah. Now, this is already modified. Why? Because I am using my custom instructions. So every time I create a prompt, it already knows my target audience. But we're getting sidetracked. What you're reading now is vanilla. It is generic. It is nondescript. Here's the thing. Just by adding a less than 30-second note, which I copied in here, and I said, act as a copywriter. Write a 2-paragraph inspiring LinkedIn post on the benefits of exercise. Same thing as the first time. Expand on the subject based on my notes. I also said do not use emojis, but obviously it didn't listen to me. My notes, and this is everything that I provided it. Remember those first bullet points I showed you? Yeah. boost blood flow, increase metabolism, blah, blah, blah. Here's what the content now says. Exercise isn't just about staying fit. It's a secret weapon that can transform your productivity and well-being. And now it stops being generic because it goes into actionable things that exercise helps entrepreneurs achieve. First, it boosts blood flow, ensuring your brain gets extra oxygen it needs for sharper focus and creativity. Secondly, exercise revs up your metabolism, helping you maintain that essential energy. It's not just, oh yeah, exercise is good for you. No, it is actually being prescriptive because it's using your experience and your thinking. And that will pass any AI detector and will not trigger Google, because you know that if you're posting just generic AI content, Google recognizes it and downgrades your page in the search rankings. If you didn't know that, watch out for that. Make sure you add your flavor. You want to give people something that only you can show them, your personality. So that's number 5. I call it the prompt power-up. It's the ChatGPT's best friend. I can't stress this enough, but let's wrap this up. Okay, we talked about a fantastic tool, AudioPen. I highly recommend you check out the free version. Just see how it works for you, if you can build it into your workflow. And you know what? 3 minutes is enough. 3 minutes is a lot. But if you want to take it seriously, and if you are generating content, and if you are about attracting audience to your website, your social media profile, whatever you choose to use, these are the 5 points why AudioPen should be at the top of your list for consideration. 1. Collect materials for copywriters and bloggers easily and organize them. 2. Accessing audience in different languages if you need to. Number 3, merging ideas into super summaries. Number 4, becoming a social media superstar in less than 15 seconds. And number 5, powering up your AI assistants with your creative ideas, making better prompts. Tell me what you think in the description below. If you like it, I'd appreciate if you subscribe. See you in the next one.